The basement voice. Please don't let him find me. If you're listening to this alone, make sure your basement door is locked. Because some voices aren't asking for help. They're warning you. I never believed in ghost stories. My name is Daniel Carter, and in October 2024, my wife Emily and I bought a beautiful old house just outside a small town in Pennsylvania. The price was unbelievably low. The realtor smiled and said, "The previous owners moved away suddenly. That's all." I should have asked more questions. But I didn't. The house was perfect. At least. That's what we thought. The first week was completely normal. Quiet neighborhood. Friendly neighbors. Peaceful nights. Until the 8th night. At exactly 2:13 a.m. I woke up because I heard something. A little girl's voice. Very soft. Almost whispering. "Please, don't let him find me." I sat upright in bed. Emily looked at me. "You heard that too?" I nodded. The voice came from below us. The basement. I grabbed a flashlight. The basement door was already slightly open. I could have sworn I locked it before bed. As I walked downstairs, every step creaked louder than the last. The air became colder. Much colder. When I reached the bottom. Nothing. No child. No sound. Only old boxes. Broken furniture. And thick dust covering the concrete floor. We searched every corner. Nothing. We laughed it off. Maybe it came from outside. Maybe we imagined it. We went back to sleep. The next night. 2:13 a.m. Again. "Please, don't let him find me." This time it sounded closer. Almost behind me. Emily screamed. I turned around. No one. For the next 5 nights. The voice returned. Always at exactly the same time. Never early. Never late. Always saying the exact same sentence. Please don't let him find me. Not help me. Not save me. Only. Don't let him find me. That part terrified me the most. Who was him? Finally, we called the police. 2 officers searched the basement from top to bottom. They checked every wall. Every window. Every crawl space. Nothing. One officer smiled politely. "You probably have pipes making strange sounds." But before leaving, the older officer quietly asked, "Has the voice mentioned anyone else?" I froze. "What do you mean?" He looked uncomfortable. "Never mind." Then they drove away. That answer haunted me. The next morning I went to the local library. I searched newspaper archives about our house. Hours passed. Then I found an article dated April 17, 1998. Local girl still missing. Her name was Sophie Miller. 8 years old. She disappeared after playing outside. Her body was never found. The article mentioned something strange. The last person to see Sophie alive lived in our house. A man named Richard Hale. Police questioned him. But there wasn't enough evidence. The case went cold. Richard died years later. Everyone forgot. Everyone. Except Sophie. That night, I placed a voice recorder in the basement. At exactly 2:13. The whisper came again. "Please don't let him find me." But this time, there was something else. A second voice. Deep. Slow. Very close to the microphone. Too late. Then. Silence. The next morning I played the recording for Emily. Halfway through. The recorder suddenly stopped. Battery dead. Brand new batteries. Completely drained. Emily wanted to leave immediately. I agreed. But before packing, I noticed something strange. The basement wall. One section sounded hollow. I hit it again. Definitely hollow. I borrowed a hammer. After removing several bricks, a terrible smell escaped. Behind the wall was a tiny hidden room. Barely large enough for a child. Inside, a faded pink backpack. A small teddy bear. And tiny fingerprints still visible on the dusty wall. Emily started crying. I couldn't breathe. We called the police again. This time, everything changed. Forensic teams arrived. They carefully searched the hidden room. Hours later, an officer walked toward us. His face was pale. We found human remains. DNA testing later confirmed it. They belonged to Sophie Miller. She had been missing for 26 years. Hidden inside the basement. The entire time. News spread across the town. People placed flowers outside the house. Sophie's family finally had answers. A funeral was held. Everyone believed it was over. Everyone. Except me. Because on the night after the funeral, at exactly 2:13 a.m., the voice returned. Only this time. It didn't sound frightened. It sounded peaceful. Very gentle. Thank you. Then. For the first time. Silence. No whisper. No footsteps. Nothing. We never heard the little girl again. We sold the house 6 months later. The new owners moved in. I never told them everything. Some things are better left buried. But last week, I received an anonymous envelope. Inside, there was only one photograph. It showed our old basement. Taken recently. Standing inside the hidden room was a little girl. Smiling. Holding a teddy bear. On the back of the photo, someone had written 5 words. He never stopped looking. Police examined the picture. They couldn't explain it. They said no child was visible. Only an empty room. Maybe they're right. Maybe grief plays tricks on the mind. Or maybe some voices never really leave. So if you ever wake up at 2:13 a.m. and hear a little girl whisper, please don't let him find me. Don't answer. Because the next voice might not belong to her. The end.